Urban Meyer becoming their head coach. Now, Meyer won 3 national championships at Florida and Ohio State. He would be joining a Jaguars team that only won 1 game last season and has the #1 overall pick, which is expected to be Clemson quarterback Trevor Lawrence. So Marcellus Wiley, let's dive in on this one. I love when college football meets the NFL. There's something about that makes my soul happy.
Because it's you. It embodies you.
What would this move mean for them Jaguars?
Oh, this move. Look, I have to take a deep breath. First of all, is this the same Urban Meyer just saw over breakfast passing the tater tots? I was like, damn, save me some tater tots. Same Urban Meyer. Wow, this world moves fast. Congratulations if that is going to actually be a reality for Urban Meyer. Let me say this. You look at Urban Meyer in this situation, and I played for the Jacksonville Jaguars for 2 years. You never want to say one man, one person, one player is a savior. But this is as close as you can
talk
get
about it
when you talk about Urban Meyer going to Jacksonville. One, let's just talk about how the game of football, the NFL game, is a business first. He's going to have an impact, a big impact in terms of the bottom line. There are scenes of him landing in a private jet. Last time I checked, most coaches don't just land in a private jet with us filming it, going to the facilities. That's a thing. He's going to be box office down there. Now, when he's box office down there, everyone knows salute, because we have respect for your resume. We're talking about a guy who was 17 years as a head coach in the college ranks, won 3 national championships. Reputation precedes him. Not only upstairs in the organization, where they don't have a general manager, so it looks like some power is going Urban Meyer's way if he becomes the coach, but more importantly, in the locker room when he walks through there. I played for Bill Parcells, Marty Schottenheimer. Salute. I mean, off of day 1 practice, and that's what they need, because the Jacksonville Jaguars have been a mess for at least a decade, talking about them. Now, we know that they had the blip of the AFC Championship game, but if you look at ownership right now, second fastest owner to 100 losses in NFL history. That is the mess that Urban Meyer is going to be employed to fix. But I look at all of this, and I look at him. Is he the man for this job? Absolutely. But there's going to be a fork in the road moment. Not just because of who he is in terms of his coaching ability and his resume, but how he actually transitions to the pro game. Is Urban Meyer at that fork in the road going to become Pete Carroll? Is he going to become Jimmy Johnson? Or is he going to become Nick Saban and be back on that private jet, right back to the college ranks very fast? That is going to be the question for everyone. How does him and his resume transition to this pro game?
I like your take. What does Urban Meyer to Jacksonville mean? I think it means everything. I think it means that Jacksonville is now going to finally get back to some sort of national relevance in the National Football League. When you talk about head coaches, it's not only can you sustain a program or can you sustain a team, can you build a program or can you build a team? We get lost sometimes in, man, this coach is doing a great job winning. Sure, but did the coach help build it or did he just get there and sustain it? Think Ryan Day at Ohio State. Ryan Day's doing a phenomenal job, but Ryan Day just sustained what was built. Think Mark Helfrich when he took over for Chip Kelly at Oregon. The next year he did a great job, but he just sustained what Chip Kelly had built. Let's talk about Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer, he goes to Utah 2004, 2005. And all of a sudden, they get 10 wins after just having 5 wins years prior. He wins a conference 2 years there. Okay, after he builds Utah up, takes them to a BCS game, bumps over to Florida. Florida, they win their Division 3 out of their 6 years that he is there, goes to 2 national championships, and oh, by the way, he won twice. Built a program, sustained a program. Okay, let's hop to Ohio State. Goes to Ohio State. He wins 12 games 5 times and never loses more than 2 games while at Ohio State. So not only is he building a program, he's sustaining a program. Many people say, well, wait a second.
Wait a
minute. Coach. College coaches can't coach in the NFL. Look at Nick Saban. He failed in the NFL. But I said, wait a second. I'm not just going to buy that lazy narrative. Did Nick Saban fail in the NFL? Because the Dolphins were 4-12 before Nick Saban got there. They went 9-7 right after Nick Saban got there. Dolphins have only had 4 9+ win seasons the last 17 years. Nick Saban has one of the 4. Uh-oh, wait a second. No coach in Miami for the Dolphins has ever won more than 9 games twice. Uh-oh, wait a second. So Nick Saban, he contributed there. But Nick Saban went 6-10 the year after. Yeah, he lost to starting quarterback, so let's make that make sense. So maybe Nick Saban didn't fail that much as we give him credit for. Urban Meyer to Jacksonville would be huge for the Jaguars, and we can talk about how he can build that program on the next lap.
I'm just mad at me and Urban have a good relationship, you know, hi coach, bye coach, you know, kind of relationship. Hey, son, hell, Marcellus. He didn't invite me on that damn jet, and I'm a former Jag. Like, you got room on the jet.
You hit something on the head, bro, because I didn't think about it till you said it.
Come on, man.
Think about all the head coaching interviews that have taken place the last 2 weeks. I haven't seen a picture of one.
I know how it
Like
goes.
Eric Bieniemy, haven't seen a picture of him.
Yeah.
Robert Saleh, haven't seen a picture of him. Kellen Moore apparently getting interviewed by the Eagles. Haven't seen no pictures.
Yeah.
You said Urban. I said, wait a second.
Yeah. I look at that kind of stuff. I'm caught up in the streets. Like, look, I remember when I was a free agent, and I was the #1 free agent, at least articles were saying that. I was like, yeah, man, I was on Southwest, bro. And then I look at Brett Favre when he just contemplating where he wants to go. It's helicopters and private. I'm like, boy, it pays to be in that NFL instead of the one I was in. But let's talk about this. I like the point you said, are you going to build a program? And we look at Urban Meyer at the college ranks, because that's all we can look at. The year before Urban Meyer was at Bowling Green, they were 2-9. Next year, 8-3.
Talk about it.
Hello. Utah, 5-6. So far, loser, 10-2. Ooh, Urban Meyer effect, 7-5 to 9-3 at Florida. Ohio State, 6-7. Ohio State, 6-7.
Yep.
Urban Meyer said, nah, we're going to go undefeated. Let's go to war. So he's built for this, but you made a great point about, is he going to be more of a Jimmy Johnson, who took a 1-15 Cowboys team his first year to the Super Bowl, obviously, a couple times, or more of the Barry Switzer, which is just ride whatever's there? And Barry Switzer, even though he got his championship, he just rode the wave, many would say. You can't ride the wave in Jacksonville because there are no waves right now to ride in Jacksonville. This is a lowly team. That's why you get a Trevor Lawrence opportunity at the #1 pick. That's why you're in Jacksonville. That's why the expectations are low based on what their resume is in Jacksonville, but high because of who you are and as a deemed savior for this franchise. A lot of things happening right now, mixed bag of nuts, but it's going to be interesting to see what Urban can do for it.
Let's go deeper, because that's what we do on this show. You said something that made me think about something else.
Let's go.
In the NFL, sometimes you get caught having to play some meaningless games. Right, you struggle early on in the season. You realize, man, we're not going to make the playoffs. These games are rendered meaningless. Can you still motivate your team to play even when the games are meaningless? Wait a second. You just said Urban Meyer's first year at Ohio State, they went undefeated. But his first year at Ohio State, they weren't playing anything because they were sanctioned. So he motivated a group of young men to go 12-0, even though he knew they couldn't play for nothing.
And they knew, too, and still ran through those walls.
And still ran through those walls because Urban Meyer led that team and he led that charge. I think the other thing we have to think about is very simple. Before you can get to the playoffs in the NFL, you got to win your division. See, you can't take care of the neighborhood until you take care of your house. You can't do that. Like, don't worry about nobody else, what they eating over there in their kitchen, what they cooking in their kitchens. You got to take care of your kitchen. Now, when I think about Urban Meyer at Ohio State, he won or tied the division lead every single year. If you can do that out there in Jacksonville, you're going to be good. Because the other thing you got to consider, Texans, they won twice in a row.
Colts
got
a squad, though.
Colts got a squad, but the Colts haven't won the division since 2014. Then you got the Titans. Okay, like they look good. They got a squad. But let's talk